What is going on, guys? Today we are having a look at Azpilicueta, and I thought, you know what, we've got to give him a go. 85 rated, a double upgrade for him, taking him into a right wing back rather than actually a centre back this year, which I think he's definitely going to have to be put back into that centre back. I feel like as a right back, I just don't have the kind of need for him there. So we are going to test him to start with as a right back, see if he does anything. If he does quite well, then maybe keep him there. But I think realistically, after we've given him the shadow, we will whack him in that centre back role, which with a shadow turns into an 89 rated centre back with 83 acceleration and 77 sprint speed, which in hindsight isn't necessarily the worst pace I've seen on a player, but again isn't the greatest. Defending looks pretty solid, to be honest. Goes up to 94 with obviously the shadow put on. He already has 79 physicality, which again for a centre back right back not necessarily amazing, but he has got great aggression. Stamina's up there, jumping's decent, and to be honest, some of the other stats, short and long passes alright. You've got a bit of crossing with him, but I don't particularly want him kind of overlapping. I just don't think he's that sort of right back, which may hinder the chances, as that is what I do like to do with my fullbacks, is overlap every moment of the day if I can. Reactions are quite nice. Composure just on the cusp of being okay, and then the agility balance I think is more suited for a centre back than it is a right back. So he doesn't come in at much. I think it's 15k at the best at the moment, more than likely going to almost discard value once we get some either promo packs or lightning rounds on Friday. But let's jump into him, just give him a go, see if he's worth it. Picking up Azpilicueta on this wing already. I really didn't. It's just natural to actually overlap with him. I want Traore to kind of run forward a little bit. He's going to get a bit more passing on him. We find that little pass in the middle. That is a stunning ball into Suarez. Just to note there, Azpilicueta way out of position. That's where we want him. Let's have a look then. I'm interested in that through ball. Yeah, no, not with him. In general with him, I think he is going to be he's a fodder player. Azpilicueta does enough to stop the attack there. And like I was saying before, I think he is going to be this player that necessarily is just fodder. But in terms of kind of like maybe a cheap Chelsea squad, you've got obviously now an inform that can go as a centre-back. I would highly recommend him as a centre-back if I'm being honest. I just don't see him being effective as a right back just because of the pace mainly. Pace, agility, balance is screaming for a centre back. And again to Asp. He's going to let that run. It's lovely. We can see that ball across. I'm just kind of hitting and hoping with that pass, thinking that he's going to manage to get it 1 point. Like I say, maybe 4 out of 10 times he might be able to hit that pass, but that's why you do need someone a little bit more confident there. Asp going down the wing this time. Little 1-2 with Silva. Still pushing forward. Little ball roll. Double into Traore, and that is much better. Ground passes seems to be the better one for him. And again, we see it out. We see that pass across there. Much better. I think across the ground is definitely a better sort of role for him. Again, down the wing. Feeds it into Traore's feet, and we get caught, to be honest. Great interception there. We're going to go across goal there. That is beautiful. Much, much better figuring that one out. Asp watching. Good tackle, but it's fed it straight in, and we managed to get away with it, luckily. Gone with Asp as the centre-back now. Hopefully, I feel like that will be a better position for him in total. The only problem is then is kind of like you've got to have a right-back who's a centre-back, or no, a centre-back who's a right-back with a great challenge from him. But it's going to be an interesting one. I feel like it depends on the formation and everything. Little bit of a lag. Suarez gets the shot off, but unfortunately not a very convincing one at that best. Asp's got to make his money here. He's going to try and cut it back. Don't even know what sort of pass that was. For the price of Asp, I think he's definitely not a bad player. Yes, he's not the quickest, and that is kind of like the grounds for somebody who's just not going to get in people's teams, but for what you're getting, I realise that he's not actually that bad, and with the kind of lack of specials, it's nice to kind of have somebody different in the team until we go all out sweat mode. And it does help with Asp having someone like a Gomez. This is where he's going to struggle. Pulisic, relatively quick. We just showed you the kind of disadvantage he has in the pace there, but Lloris is pretty sick as well. Oh, what a challenge. Oh, Azpi with a beautiful interception and then gets a little bit of a tackle as well. Very nice to see. So Azpi, 15k, 14, 13, 750. He's not awful, and I'm trying to like grasp at the dust here. I think he's somebody who's going to be a Chelsea best XI. Obviously, you want him as a centre back. What did we get last year? An 88. A 92 the couple of years before, a 91. I was just trying to figure out because I can never remember him getting a very high rated card, and that was 2 years ago, so I can imagine that is why I cannot remember him getting a high rated card. He is 32, getting on a little bit. Obviously he's getting more defensive awareness and physical than he is actually going with the pace, and I say even physical, it's more aggression than anything, as you can see on this card. Strength only 73, which I think because you need obviously so much pace is the neglecting fact. I would love to have him have at least 70 pace or 80 pace to start with, to then have the boost on, so we could maybe go for an anchor to obviously increase that, because I think that would be more beneficial. But I think this is definitely going to be very important as we go through the next few weeks, especially if you are looking to use Azpilicueta in foot champs. I do think centre back is the best position for him. We tried him at right back, did all right, but you could definitely tell there was that lacking spark of going forward, because he just doesn't have it in him. The pace is not enough. Obviously the stamina is going to be wearing out quite quickly. You've got to keep him back, and I think that the only option for that is keeping him in that centre back role. Overall, Shadow is definitely going to be the better chemistry style for you. Even if the overall doesn't change, it's going to be more beneficial to have that pace and then have that defensive ability, because tackling really wasn't that bad for him. I thought he was a great tackler. He did show some signs of kind of strength, but very little burst. It was more kind of aggression of winning the ball back, and them interceptions were class. Passing wise, I think once we put it on the ground, we realised that was kind of his move. Going long through balls, just couldn't cut it. It was going left, right, centre, anywhere but where I wanted it. Whereas the through balls across the ground, perfect. Find that kind of slipstream where you're going straight across the pitch, and he absolutely slaps it. Overall, for me, I think I'm going to have to give him around 6 out of 10. I think 15k obviously going to be more of a fodder player. Maybe a cheeky one to have a look at picking up one to keep in your club to obviously invest for later on. Premier League Player of the Month, La Liga Player of the Month, because obviously you're going to need informs. If you need a Spanish inform or a Spanish inform and a Prem, not necessarily that you need all three of them, but there's always that chance that you do find that if you do get someone like a Traore Player of the Month or a Traore SBC, he could go up in price. So I would say he's definitely an investing card more than anything, but I thought, you know what, we'll give him a go, give him a fair shout and see what he can do. Overall 6 out of 10. Let me know down below what you think. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you all for the next one. Peace.